So I saw on Pinterest, there's this lady that takes the cutest pictures. You know, in like your pregnancy apps where it says the size of the baby every week. So at week 4, it's a poppy seed, and then at week 5, it's a sesame seed, and then week 6, it's a blueberry, and then week 7, it's a blackberry. So what we've been doing is we go to the store and we go look for the little fruits that are the size of the baby, and hold it in front of my stomach and take a little picture just so people can kind of relate what the size is of the baby at the moment. So people have been loving that on Pinterest, and it's been, or sorry, on Facebook. And it's been such a cool little project to do with my husband and I, because many times the fruit, the size that it says on the app, is not the size of the fruit we have here in Seattle. So I have to go measure. People probably think I'm crazy in the store, but we go measure the size of it to see, you know, what is the size of the baby. So that's been the coolest little project. And, you know, every time that we see Todd's family or our family, they say, "Oh, how's our little mango doing? How is Blueberry? You know, how is our little grape?" It is so cute. So every time the week changes over and I post every Tuesday that the baby is a new size, you know, everybody in the family is like, "Oh, how is our little apricot doing?" Or, you know, "How's our little peach?" It is so cute. So baby has already had a million nicknames. Blueberry seems to be sticking though, which is super cute. So we have been loving that. Oh, okay, so something that has really bothered me, speaking of Facebook and friends and acquaintances, I was not expecting that there would be so much complaining. Obviously, people, you know, pregnancy, it is not the easiest, and I'm at 21 weeks and I am not even to the hard part from what I've heard. You know, I guess it's easy in the second trimester, and it's really hard in the first and the third, but there's just a lot of people that take pregnancy for granted, and it's really hard to talk to them. Sometimes I'll see posts on Facebook like, "Today's the worst day ever, I'm sick again," and it's like, you have no idea how lucky you are to have morning sickness. You have no idea how lucky you are that your stomach is hurting because it's expanding. It's just, I don't know, it's really difficult. It's really difficult because on one hand, I understand the struggle, and on the other hand, I don't complain about anything because I don't have anything to complain about. Everything is a total blessing. So every time I would get sick, I'd be like, "Yes, I'm sick today. My HCG is still up." Or like if my boobs are killing, I'm like, "Yes, my boobs hurt today." And sometimes, like, if I'm wondering if the HCG is going up or down or staying at the same or whatever, I'd like press on my boob and I'd be like, "Yes, it still hurts," you know? But every single time, or I'm like, "Oh my gosh, none of my clothes fit anymore," or I'm like, "Dang it, my bras don't fit, my boobs are huge, they're so heavy," you know, I'm like, "Yes, this is the greatest." But if there's no struggle before you get pregnant, there is not the same mindset. So it's really interesting and difficult to have conversations with some of my friends and acquaintances that are all about like, "Oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing ever." Well, if this is the hardest thing ever, try trying to conceive for several years and going through a bunch of fertility treatments and not knowing if you're ever going to have a child. Now that is difficult. So it's just a different perspective, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around trying to be more understanding, but I think, like I said, it's just a different appreciation that I have for being pregnant that I'm finding a lot of other people don't have. There are a lot of pregnant complainers out there, and I just want to shake them and be like, "Hey, you have no idea how lucky you are. People would pay money to have your morning sickness. People would pay money to have your swollen feet and swollen legs," and it's just, I don't know, but that can be, I'm trying to be, like I said, more understanding about that and see things from their perspective, because I understand they didn't go through hell in order to get pregnant, so they're not going to have the same mindset, and I shouldn't expect them to. But at the same time, it's really difficult knowing things from my perspective and seeing the whole world of trying to conceive and IVF and all of these rounds of Clomid and Femara and all this fertility, you know, the shots, and there's just so much that people have to go through to get pregnant. And a lot of people, you know, when it happens like that, they take it for granted, and it's just, I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying it's hard for me to relate sometimes. That's probably the best way I can put it. But I'm trying to be more understanding, because I know they didn't go through what I did. Oh, okay, so something I wondered about, when you first get pregnant, like the first couple months, when nobody can tell but you can feel your body expanding, I originally thought that you don't have much feeling. You start feeling like bloated and crampy when you are, you know, like when your stomach and your uterus is really growing. But what I found is that you are really crampy and bloated from the beginning. And from what I was told and what I feel, is that I started showing at like 8 weeks. And I am not sure why that is, but it felt like I could look in the mirror and be like, whoa, you can already tell I'm starting to get a bump. And what I'm thinking to myself as I'm wearing like these outfits is I can't suck my stomach, because I've always been in dance, and my posture is really good because of that, and I'm thankful for that. And I always, you know, hold my core tight, even when I'm walking or just as a normal habit, or just to sit up straight. And when you're pregnant, you can't really put that pressure on your stomach, and you can't hold your core tight all day, and it just hurts too bad. So it's not really something that you can do. So I don't know if it's because I can't, you know, like suck in or hold my core tight, why my stomach is all of a sudden sticking out. But I assume so. So you feel really bloated and really cramped, and it's from the beginning. It's like having your period on your strongest day of your period, when you are just like really, when your stomach is really like aching, and your cramps are just really bad. That is what it's like every day for the first couple of months, and you just kind of get used to it. It's something that you're just like, yeah, I feel like crap today because I'm pregnant. Oh, there goes Kitty again. You know, so it's something that I was grateful for, but I was surprised that you feel so crampy and bloated for every day for several months, and you just get used to it. So that was interesting. Also, now that I'm starting to get a baby bump, my stomach is stretching, and I didn't really know what that would feel like, but I now know what round ligament pain is. And it's literally just your body stretching, and it is so painful. Standing up, sitting down, it's like, for me, and I know some people it's on the top of their belly and sometimes it's on the bottom, but for me it's my joints where my hips are. So for me, sitting up, you know, standing up from a sit, especially when I'm in a deep sunken couch or something like that, getting up, you know, or sitting back down or something like that. Usually it's getting up from sitting down or sitting down from standing up. That is when the most pain is, and it is not a pleasant pain. It is like a sharp shooting pain, but it's just part of being pregnant, and it's one of those not pleasant things, but at the same time I'm like, I'm in pain, this is good, I'm pregnant, this is good. So that's kind of my outlook on it. Stomach pressure, heartburn. Oh, heartburn. I've never had heartburn in my entire life, but heartburn is really interesting. I don't know if you ladies have had heartburn ever, but if you have never had heartburn, it feels like your throat starts catching on fire, and it just goes, it's like down here it starts, and it's like this burning sensation, and you're like, oh. So you drink some water because it hurts, and the fire just like starts rising to the top, and it gets to the bottom of your throat, and it's just like burn, baby burn, all the way throughout. So I know that Tums are okay to take. Obviously I'm trying not to take a single thing while I'm pregnant, just because the risk is just not worth it, and I don't want to put anything in my body that I really shouldn't or don't need to. You know, I'm gonna go through the struggle and not take anything. But heartburn, I will take Tums when I have really bad heartburn. And I'll try to drink Sprite or drink water, ice water, to try to make the burning sensation go away. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's about the acidity in your stomach that is rising up through your esophagus and up to the very top of your esophagus. So I have to. Sometimes I've taken it like what, 4 Tums so far, and I'm proud of myself for not taking anything else. Especially when my back is aching and my, you know, because your center of gravity changes. So it's, you know, you want to take painkillers because you hurt, your feet hurt, your everything, your back is just killing a lot of the times. But that's just the way that it is, and I've chosen not to take anything for that. I'm gonna tough it out. So Tums though, when you get heartburn, that is like the only thing that will make it go away. And I know there are colored Tums, but the colored Tums have a certain type of dyes in them, obviously to get the colors. It's like called Blue Lake, Red Lake dye, Yellow Lake dye, which I don't really know what that means, but I just stick with the peppermint ones because there are no dyes and it is strictly just, you know, just the Tums itself. So that is kind of what heartburn is like. If you've never experienced heartburn, I probably get heartburn once or twice a week. Sometimes I tough it out, or sometimes I end up taking a Tums if my whole self is just on fire and I can't take it anymore. Oh, superpower smelling. Okay, so this is trippy. You can smell everything, and this is something that you get used to too, is smelling things. And sometimes I'll walk into a place and nobody else smells what I smell, and I'm the only person that smells it. Like today I was doing a tour, a property tour, and I walk in and I was like, it smells like moisture, like mold, and nobody else can smell it. I'm the only person who can smell it. Or you know, if somebody is cooking something and they just put it in, like muffins, you know, if they just put muffins in or something, literally just put them in so they don't have time to smell the whole house, I can smell them even though they are in the oven. It is so trippy. It is so trippy. And it's just crazy. The other day I took like a refresher course for a real estate class, and I was sitting, and I'm just sitting here taking the class, you know, typing on my keyboard, looking at properties, and there is a lady that is several rows over this way and like 5 rows upwards, and she is making tea. This person is probably, what, 40 or 50, probably about 40 feet away from me. 40 feet away from me, and I can smell her tea as if it is sitting on my desk. It is so fascinating, and I would like to keep, well, it can be a good thing or a really bad thing. Like if somebody farts in the car and nobody else smells it and I'm the only one, like, oh my gosh, who was that? And everyone's like, what, you know? And they're like, whoever smelled it, dealt it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So it's a really interesting experience. So other than superpower smelling, dreams have been a big one. Dreams, I've always heard when you're pregnant and you have dreams, they are just really like powerful and really, you just feel like you're really in it. And it is so true. You feel it's very realistic. There's sometimes the dreams when you're like, yep, I'm dreaming, but you obviously can't stop the dream, but you are aware that it's a dream. When you're pregnant, it's not like that. It is very much like real life, and your senses are heightened and you just wake up in a panic, or you know, wake up just like a lot, you know. It just really depends on what you're dreaming about, but it is really crazy. Outgrowing your clothes, that happened to me sooner than I expected. Everything just gets really tight, and it becomes uncomfortable. Wearing maternity clothes, it's more about comfort than about the look, because a lot of your clothes, I thought I'd be able to wear them much longer, but I just like I've outgrown them. I can't wear anything but maternity shirts now. I'm rocking a baby bump. So it's just really cool. I expected though that a lot of my clothes would last a lot longer than they did though, but now I have gone through my closet and separated the clothes that don't fit anymore, that will again someday, and only my maternity clothes. So that's been an interesting change. The next thing I want to talk about is learning things. So there is just so much to learn about baby stuff. I'm in process of reading books, being on the internet, just learning about safety and just about what things that you actually need versus what is just a commodity. You know, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that you actually need for a baby, because there are just too many products out there, and it's like, what is actually something that you're gonna need? So I'm in the process of learning about babies because I don't know, you know, I focused so long on trying to conceive. Now it's like, okay, you're pregnant and you're 21 weeks along, and it is time to learn about babies because baby will be here in no time. We've also been thinking about names. If you saw our gender reveal video, you now know that we are expecting a baby girl. We were assuming that it would be a boy just because of, you know, the fertility meds making your body more alkaline and the timing. It was, you know, you ovulate, and we assumed that the timing was perfect to have a boy, but we got a fighter in there, so we ended up with, we're so happy that we're expecting a girl. We ended up with a girl. It was a total shock to us, but now we are imagining a new life with a girl instead of a boy, and just trying to imagine what she's going to be like and what her personality is going to be and how cool it's going to be to have her as part of our lives. So we're trying to think of, you know, a concept for the nursery and, you know, a name for her, and we're just tossing, you know, stuff back and forth right now and just really trying to understand the concept of having a little girl and trying to make a life that surrounds that. So that's kind of what we're focusing on now. The gender reveal party was so much fun. People were really surprised. Majority of people, just by the way that I'm carrying the baby, knew that it was a girl, but there are so many people that also thought it was a boy. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. My next video, I'm going to start, first of all, I'm going to start doing more updates. Now that I have this big video out of the way, which I'm sorry it's so long, but now that I have this video that has majority of the things that I wanted to talk about out of the way, now I can focus on the other things that I wanted to make, like a Q&A video. I haven't done that yet. Also, I want to tell you what our sex routine is when we try to conceive. Obviously, we've gotten pregnant 4 times now. Unfortunately, we lost 3, but we were able to keep one of them. And I think if I can just be vulnerable and share our entire routine from A to Z, if that gets one person in the TTC community pregnant, it is so worth my while to make that vulnerable video. So I'm gonna make it. That will be my next video, is what we did to get pregnant. So that's gonna be my next video coming up. Thank you guys so much for checking in with me and asking how I've been and how I'm doing. Everything has just been extremely busy. It's like all of a sudden I'm pregnant and all of a sudden business just blew up. And I have just been extremely blessed that things have been going great business-wise. We also had a really tragic loss in the family. My mom's fiance passed away due to a sudden cardiac arrest. So that was a large time. That took a lot of time also away from making videos. I just really needed to be there for my family, and weeks are just flying by, and like I said, I've been overwhelmed to make this video because I have so much to share and I don't want it to be like half an hour video. So I just want to say hi to you guys and that I've missed you, and I will be making videos because I love being in this community, and you can always see more coming from me. And I think constantly about everyone who's trying to conceive, and I pray for everybody. I have a whole list of people that I pray for, and I just wish everybody well, and I watch all your videos and just see how you're doing, and I'm like, please let this one work, let this one work. So and even if you don't make videos, I watch your comments and I pray for you too. So for everyone that's still trying to conceive, just know that I'm still thinking of you and I love you guys. And for everyone that has recently gotten their BFPs and their IVF has worked, or you know, the IUIs, or even just a round of fertility medication, congratulations, because I understand the feeling, and I'm just really happy for you guys. So I'm going to stop jabbering. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Baby dust to all. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.